Hello, 8th grade. It is Wednesday, April 22nd. We have been looking at polynomials this week, and today we're kind of working on adding and subtracting polynomials. All right, the trick is when you add or subtract, all right, we are combining like terms. And by like terms means it needs to be the same variable and it needs to have the same exponent. Okay, the coefficient number does not affect it at all. All right, it is the same variable with the same exponent. So an example would be 2x to the third minus x to the third. We have the same variable, the same exponent, so we could combine those. All right, if we put our 1 in here, when we combine them, it would leave us with a positive 1 x to the third. If I had 4y to the fourth plus 2y to the third, all right, I could not combine them. Sure, they both are y variables, but they have different exponents, all right? So we could not combine them, all right? So your assignment today, there's going to be two types of problems, all right? We're going to start with the more difficult one, all right? This is the one where you have the negative sign in front of the parentheses, right? So we need to use distributive property and bring that negative sign into each of the terms inside the parentheses, okay? So what I suggest you do, okay, this first parentheses, I am just rewriting. Okay, then I'm going to use distributive property and bring the negative in. So this becomes a negative 2c. When I bring the negative in here, this becomes a negative 2c to the third. Okay, then I'm going to bring down the terms in the last parentheses. Okay, so I have distributed the negative. All right, I've brought everything down. Now I need to start looking at what I can combine. Okay, so I'm going to start with the exponent to the highest degree, all right, because that's how we're supposed to write it in high school. So c to the fourth is my highest. So I have 6c to the fourth. I have a negative 4c to the fourth. Okay, when I combine them, positive 6, a negative 4, that will leave me with 2c to the fourth. Okay, now I'm going to look at my c to the thirds. Okay, keep the negative with it, so this is a negative 2c to the third, and then I have a positive 7c to the third. A negative 2 and a positive 7 will give me 5 c to the third. Okay, I do not have c to the second power, so I skip over that. I am left with 5c, negative 2c, and a negative 7c. Okay, so I'm going to combine those. A negative 2 and a negative 7 makes a negative 9. A negative 9 and a positive 5 will leave me with a negative 4c. Okay, so I have combined all the terms that I could. All right, I cannot do any more combining, all right, because even though they are all c's, they are two different exponents. Okay, all right, let's do the next one. Okay, once again, we have the negative sign in front of the second parentheses. Okay, you need to distribute the negative into each term inside of the parentheses. So instead of it being 2x squared, it becomes negative 2. x squared. Bring the negative in. A negative -8 turns into a positive 8. And a negative x to the 4th turns into a positive x to the 4th. Okay, the other two parentheses do not have the negatives, so I am just going to bring them down. Okay, so I have distributed the negatives, brought everything else down. Now I need to combine my like terms, which means same variable, same exponent. I want to start with the variable with the highest exponent, so that is this one. 5x to the 5th, nothing else matches. So I write it down, okay? My next one is x to the 4th, okay? I can put my 1 in here, and I have 8x to the 4th. So 8x to the 4th plus 1x to the 4th is 9x to the 4th. I do not have any x to the 3rds, so I'm going to skip ahead to x to 2nd power. This is the only one, so I bring it down. -2x squared. There is no x to the 1st power, so I'm down to my constants. -7, +8, +4. Okay, 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 and a -7 is a +5. All right, so this is the final answer. I cannot combine anything else because the exponents are different. Okay, all right, so these two are the most difficult ones. All right, the problems that I wrote are exactly like what you're going to have on your assignment. Okay, the next two are easier because look, you do not have to distribute the negative sign. All right, we just have the plus in between. All right, so on these, okay, I just look at my list. Here's my highest, 6c to the 4th, 2c to the 4th. When I combine them, I get 8c to the 4th, okay? Those are finished. Okay, the next highest exponent is the 3. It does not have a match, so I just bring it down, plus 3c to the 3rd. This one's finished. I do not have c to the 2nd power, but I do have 4c to the 1st and 7c to the 1st. 4 plus 7 is 11c. Okay, that will be my answer. All right, cannot combine anything else. Okay, here's the last one. Once again, we do not have to distribute the negative sign, so much easier. Okay, here's my highest variable. It's to the 5th power. 8z to the 5th. Okay. All right, I do not have a z to the 4th, but I do have a z to the 3rd plus 4z to the 3rd. Cross it out. Okay, z to the 2nd, I have two of them. I've got a -7 and a +2. When I combine them, a -7 and a +2 is a -5z squared. Cross those out. I do not have z to the 1st. I'm left with my constants, -4 and -6. When you add them together, you get a -10. All right, so 8th grade, this is what you are working on today. All right, if you watched this video and paid attention, all right, your assignment should not be too tricky. All right, if you start having trouble with distributing the negative signs, okay? Maybe rewatch the video, all right? Those two problems were at the front, and kind of pause it so that it can kind of remind you what to do. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will talk to you tomorrow.